It's 9:52 on the 5th of August, and this is for the attention of young mothers in the democracy that will be able to identify and empathise with me as a mother since 2015. It gives me awful displeasure to say that the community of Tralee, County Kerry has been displaying the most careless, irresponsible regard for women and children since my child was unlawfully abducted from me in January 2017. So, as I mentioned in my earlier upload, the irresponsibility of the government to address the issues that have been caused by culprits in County Kerry that are preying on my property and that are evading their huge debts that they owe me, since causing very dangerous treason and blasphemy, and since causing damages and harms to my baby, and since being defamatory about my character, reputation, and my good name, my good family name. The issue of liabilities still in my proximity that are suffering from mental illness and that are repeat offenders against the state and that are not paying their debts and their dues, that are being facilitated in crimes against the state, just shows how unsafe the kingdom has become. There are liabilities in classrooms that are setting a poor example to young children, and as a teacher since 2003 and as a royal humanitarian tolerating noise pollution and trespassers that are preying on my property. My farms in Ardfert and Kilflynn are being stolen from under my nose, and my child is being abused in broad daylight. So there's very dangerous issues about people impoverishing me while living off my wealth and still wreaking mental illness with their distortions and their disturbances and their disrespect and their foul-mouthed defamation. So there's a very dangerous issue going on in Tralee, County Kerry if people think they're walking onto property where they've been causing damage, harm and loss. And there's a very dangerous issue with me tolerating noise pollution when NEFIT has been aware of the fabulous developments that my avatar light body has been contributing in its purpose to society. It's a little bit careless for any professional or practitioner to think that they're nonchalant or their disregard to make away or make way or to give way or to take away from human life as a means of evading or avoiding is a very sad sign of the times. So anybody irresponsible that's not doing their jobs properly in the field of medicine, that have been benefiting from my body of light as an avatar, and that have been disrespecting nature and wildlife and my farm holdings, I'm really concerned for your mentality, your mental health and your mental processes. And I'm also concerned for the children in this community that since my child, that night, since January 2017, for two plain dressed individuals, as I keep reiterating, for any individual or agency or citizen of the state to be tolerating what I'm tolerating, I'm surprised that people would be putting their children at risk with what's going on at 18 Rock Street, a place of legislation apparently, a place of royalty, where I'm staying anyway, in this place of my abode, and a place of humanitarian protection. And I'm tolerating the filth of society that are disrespecting legislation and disrespecting what their debts are to my name, to me personally, and that have disrespected my child's upbringing and disrespecting other children's upbringing. So they're disrespecting COVID. My work birthed COVID. So I'd like any intelligent authoritarian and any self-respecting minister to address the liabilities that are in my proximity where they've no right to be. My farms are being endangered. My farms are not a safe place for mercurial land acquirers to be trespassing upon or to be prospering from. The damages to my only child since 2017 is quite dangerous enough, and defamation of my good name, as I've reiterated, is even more sinister and serious. So it's quite serious what's going on in Tralee, County Kerry. It's quite disgusting, as usual. It's bad enough what's been done to women and children's rights. It's bad enough what's been done to women's health, hence COVID. And there's a lot more filth still going on that's just despicable. So any self-respecting professionals or practitioners that have regard for their good name or their positions, they might be brave and courageous enough to pay their dues they owe me and to address the liabilities in my proximity where they're not legally, lawfully to be, or where they're trespassing onto farm holdings where they've disrespected the royal heir of in Ardfert and in Kilflynn. So if people could sit up a little bit and be a little bit more sensible and wise, it might be a little bit more beneficial to the future. But people in my proximity tonight making a lot of noise where they've been disrespecting my family and my ancestors, I have concern for the future of the children, naturally, as a teacher, and those that are in the classrooms these days that are responsible for their part in poor initiatives of hate crime and despicable conduct in society. It's very dangerous what's going on in Tralee, County Kerry. It's deplorable and it's unworthy, and it's just the filth of modern day and age in a democracy. So if there's any self-respecting individuals that have been poor, social influencing and bad PR, they might dignify their actions a little bit with a bit of conduct that's a bit more ethical or moral. As for the Taoiseach and his seat up in Dáil Éireann, I hate to disappoint you, but with my with my experiences, I'd have to say that your position is tenable. Disrespect and damages to my child in County Kerry to support any business ventures or initiatives or exploitation. I hate to tell you, Taoiseach, the future's not looking good, disrespecting my child and I in County Kerry and walking onto properties where you're not legally permitted is not a cause worth supporting. So I hope anyone with any shred of shame in this country would have a bit of common sense than to be supporting any landgrabbers that are mentally unstable, stalking me and damaging my child's upbringing. I hope there's some individuals, particularly women and mothers, I hope you've regard for the future of your children, to have enough shame at least to correct your actions and to try a bit of sanity and sobriety. It's really good stuff. Try a bit of sanity and sobriety and try to find amends in your experience, and try going back to 2006 when sexual violence in this community commenced and my good name was first damaged by stalkers tonight, still disturbing the peace and still avoiding and evading and exacerbating, resorting to childhood tactics and thinking they're walking onto my properties. It's a sad sign of the times. Some people have no shame. It's the bare naked truth.